Hey, it's Cat! Oh, the thing's over here. I moved it. Okay, wait. Here we go. Okay. I'm totally winging this video. This was a random thing that jumped up, and I read it, and I thought, I have to do a video. So here it goes. I found this. There goes my screen. I found this. Oh, there it goes. Okay, wait. I read this. It's on my Facebook, but I read this, and I had to do something about it. It's... it's the 20 things women do that men probably don't know about. What's sad is I'm aware of about half of these. Only half. Because if I say I'm aware of all of them, then people are going to be like, I thought you were gay. So anyway, let's get right to it. Before I do that, I'd like to give a little shout out to a friend of mine from Brockway. His name's Dom. Hey bud, how you doing? I'd give you a shout out, but okay, fine. Shout out! There you go. I just want to say, I'm here. Hi. Just want to let you know that I was thinking about you. I won't go any further. I'll be good. Okay. Anyway, getting back to this whole 20 list thing. Okay. Let's get started. Number 1. Wear the same bra for an undetermined yet very long time, unless it smells. Really? Okay. That'd be a little rough. Especially if, like, you're out in the garden or... you know, digging at yourself. Oh, that'd be just weird. But I'm sure it happens. You know. Okay. Getting naked and contouring our bodies in the mirror in the most absurd ways in order to try and look skinny. I'm guilty of that. That's really not just girls. I know guys that do it. You ever see some of those selfies? The guys that do, like, these things where they get the right angle and it looks like they have 10 more pounds of muscle that they really don't have, but it looks like it. Yeah. Good luck. Watch themselves cry in the mirror at least once during a heavy crying session. You know, after sobbing for 20 minutes, and you want to see if you cry prettily. I think that's spelled wrong. Prettily. Most of the time, it will be a disappointment. I don't know why you would do that. I mean, if I'm bawling my eyes out, it does happen. If I do, I really don't feel like looking myself in the mirror because I know I'm a big, beautiful mess. Like, I'm not, yeah, and moving on. So, okay, I can't do this, but when I was heavier, I did. Well, I have. Hold my boobs while running down the stairs. Well, I don't really have boobs. I have what they call bitch tits, but that's when I was, like, younger. I don't have them anymore. I'm kind of like, you know, normal-chested guy or, you know. Anyway, I've never seen a woman really hold them like that. At least I don't think I have. If I have, it really didn't bother me because my mom's, well, put this way, she has more than I have. Naming my boobs. Yeah, the girlfriend I had years ago, yes, I did date a woman. Remember the one I had sex with? We named hers Helga and Olga. And then it was Minnie and Mickey. But, anyway, I'm sure people do name them. Guys name their junk down there stuff. I mean, I don't know if I would name mine. I've heard a lot of guys call it Mr. Happy, because he tends to do a lot of, you know, if you follow what I'm saying here. So I really don't know quite as to what you would want to call. I mean, that's interesting and all, but I guess naming is not such a bad thing. I mean, I don't really have a name for my glass eye. It's just my glass eye. So, I don't know. To each his own. Our legs get hairy. Let our legs get hairy until they see some action. That'd be like having sex with a porcupine. Or they look like, you ever see those trees, like eastern white pines that grow straight up, like, and they have, like, dead branches? That'd be rough crawling in there. Anyway, whatever happened to skin so soft? So, let's see here. Number 7. Admire another woman's beauty as well as be jealous of another woman's beauty. I don't care if you're gay or straight. Guys do the same thing. Especially in the locker room. They notice each other. I don't just mean down here. I mean, they noticed it. I mean, I've had guys come up to me and say, you know, if I find this guy, like, attractive, or not attractive, but I can tell where he's good looking, does that make me gay? I'm like, no. Like, well, but, I'm like, do you get worked up? Like, does it turn you on? No, I can just tell where he's good looking versus a guy that's not good looking. I said, you can tell the difference. Good for you. What do you want, a cookie? But I get guys that do that. They're like, well, you're gay. Can you tell if a girl's hot or not? I'm like, yes, I can tell you, in my opinion, if a girl is attractive or if she's nothing. I would, just because you're gay doesn't mean the other opposite sex doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't appeal to you, but you can't tell the difference. I can tell the difference. Well, really, that has to be up for debate. Okay, moving on. Number 8. Spend far too much time trying to pluck one eyebrow hair that won't go away. Well, I have a couple right here. I just take a razor every week or so and just cup right up over them. I was waxed once. I left a red mark for like a week. I looked like somebody was pushing their thumb against my forehead. But yeah, I'm sure girls out there plucking, 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 plucking. They never get a chance to. It rhymes with pluck. Practice strip teasing for yourself in front of a mirror. Determine never to strip for anyone ever. Break rule. I'm gonna say I've jokingly kind of tried that once, but I wasn't trying to impress anybody. In fact, I'm surprised the mirror didn't break. But I don't know why you would. I mean, I can understand why you would, because you want to get. Because being what I do with like this, even you kind of have to know what you look like on camera, and you have to I mean, you want to get an idea of what's going on. I don't mean my fingers and hands are flying, but I don't know that I would. I'm sure I have, but it really wasn't. I couldn't hold a straight face after 5 seconds, so moving on. Number 10, when you think nobody is looking, you readjust, I should say, your bra, stick your hand in, pull them up one at a time, straighten the band and straps, and add extra squeeze to make sure everything is in its place. I have seen women do this religiously. I mean, I've seen women, they'll go to move a paper or something, and you see that elbow come up, and they'll nudge it. They'll just, or they'll sit there and they look at me, especially because I know I'm gay and they don't care and I'm not too concerned about their tits, and they'll grab it and they'll hoist these suckers up there, and it's like, and then they tell me how much their back hurts because they're like front heavy. It's like, okay, it's like watching an F-350 pickup truck with like one of them big plows in the front, how it's like front heavy. That's how I feel women are with these enormous racks, especially when you pull them through the water and they have all this. Anyway, moving on. I thought it was funny, but my mother, I've seen her do number 10. Especially right in front of me. She'll, I'm sorry, I have an itch. It's like, and I've seen other women go, you don't care, don't worry about it, don't mind me. And I'm like, okay. Especially right in the sides here. I've seen them like take their fingers through their shirt up underneath and they grind their knuckles into it. And I'm like, got an itch. But then if I have to, because mind you, women have to adjust their bras, and the girls, that they call them, the twins, whatever you call it. Guys have to adjust down there, and I've seen guys do everything from a flick of a thumb. I mean, it's so fast, it's like lightning. It's like, it's almost like they just ran their hand up along the side of their zipper. I'm not dumb. Or else you see some guys who will actually sit there and they will turn their, like, I don't know if I can even do it here. You ever see the guys do this? They'll stand there and they'll twist and they'll be like doing this whole thing with their hips, and they'll be trying to like twist and stretch their leg out, and they'll actually gape their legs apart because apparently it sticks. It does. Girls, seriously, it will do that. And they'll stick, and you'll see them trying to like pry it off subtly, and this settlement is turning into like a yoga position where they're stretching out. Have you ever seen a guy in a chair lean back and he stretches out and his legs go out as far as his elbows do? He ain't just stretching to stretch. There's a reason. And they do that. They'll just, or else I've seen guys just walk back behind something and they just, that hand is down their pants, total rearrangement, complete inventory check, and then they rip it back out. Or else when they walk up a set of steps, I'll see them up and they'll turn. It's so, some of them think they're being subtle. Some of them do not care. But yeah, in fact, I was at one place I lived at, the landlord, and I won't say who, but I'm sure he knew about me. At least I thought he did. I might be wrong about it. He had to have known. I wasn't hiding anything. And I decorate very well. So, and he was going up a flight of steps, and he turned around, and my hat was like this. Not intentionally, just because the sun was out. I had, with one eyeball here, and I had my sunglasses on. And I'm going up steps, and he turns around, and no joke, this is probably going to go up a rating. But anyway, my fly's down. That's embarrassing. Sorry. Anyway, what happened is, right in, like, the crease area, it was gaped open. Like, you could have fit my fist through there. His pants were completely torn. I could see he had purple Hanes on. And I will tell you one thing. That was not no sock down there. Whew. I was like, my landlord is flashing me, and he probably doesn't even be aware of it. I thought it was funny. So, anyway, yeah, I've gotten a lot of guys. They think that because I got one little eyeball in my head that I don't notice things. Even people that have known me for a while, they will tell you I have one eye in my head, but I see a lot. And I might not even let on that I knew anything, but I catch stuff all the time. And I'm like, oh, you think I didn't notice? But, yeah, guys have this rearrangement thing. And especially if they're like college guys that they know they're good looking, they know they can get a chick, or another dude for that matter, or they are like hormonal, because they will do this adjustment and they'll jingle things quick. Like I've seen guys just, it's like it's almost like they're ripping like those ticket things off to take a number dial things. It's real quick. They do it. Don't them kid you. They do it. And one guy told me, I don't have to rearrange anything. I'm like, yes, you do. I'm not stupid. And the ones that tell you they don't, do it. And the ones that do it, and if they don't ask, I mean, some of them are pretty good about it, you know, tact and all. But then you got that random guy out there that he can put two hands down his pants, you can catch him in the act, and he'll tell you he's still not adjusting himself. Right. Good for you. So, moving on to other questions. Well, but this questionnaire thing. Or a confession list, I guess you want to call it. I just did that one. Cried for absolutely no reason and felt stupid about it. That's just hormones, ain't it? I'm not saying I never cried for no reason. Maybe I did. I don't have any recent memory of that. Usually when I'm losing it, I have a reason. It's just phone! Anyway. When you try to poop in public, we try to pretend we're not in the stall, act dead silent if someone comes in. We won't poop until they left the bathroom. If they come into, number two, I hate that word. Number two, there is usually a poop stalemate. Nobody wins in a poop stalemate. I'm guilty of that myself. If I'm doing my business in a bathroom and somebody comes in, especially whenever I was on the road with Randy, we would go in these truck stops, and some of them, I would sit there and you just plug your ears. And the one, I think it was the Flying J. I think that's the one it did. They played music. And it was actually nice because the stalls were pretty much quarantined off. They were tiled walls. Except for this much underneath where, like, in case it flooded or something, then they could mop underneath it. But, like, you pretty much were in your own cubicle, and you didn't really hear a whole lot because the radio was on. But in the unlikely event you're in one of those really fun ones where, like, there's a budget problem with the building, and guys will, you see this, the typical default stereotype of a 300-some-pound truck driver come running in, shuffling his boots, coming in, turn around, and you watch his shadow while he drops down on that poor toilet seat, and all of a sudden you hear noises that you just want to hold your ears and start saying, Mommy loves Daddy, Daddy loves Mommy, Mommy loves Daddy, Daddy loves Mommy, Mommy loves Daddy, because you just do not want to hear what that, and then of course you have to do this while you have your ears plugged, because there's no radio, and that guy over there is totally unloading over there, and trust me, he's a good truck driver, he's unloading. That's been a little rough. But in a stalemate situation, I never really have someone come in and we both don't go. Like, well, at least I don't think I do. Usually I try to take the stall to the farthest, like my own business. And I've been known to, if you want a little tip on this, when you can't go because you want people to hear the cute noises you make, flush the toilet and then go. Because the damn thing's so loud anyway. You could go off like basically, your rear end could sound like a locomotive going through a nitroglycerin plant, and that toilet will cover it up. Unless you are so loud like a nuke went off, but at that point, even people in the hallways in the area, I love that. You go into a restroom or into a store, and you've never been there, and nature is screaming, and you look at the people at the register or wherever, you go, can you tell where your restroom is? It's kind of like, guess what I'm about to do? It's like, that's embarrassing, but we all have to do it. So, moving on. Number 13. Stabbed yourself in the eye with mascara wand. I've done that. Yes. I have worn mascara. I've worn guy liner, as they call it. I've done it. It really, and I mean, I wear very little. It accentuates my eyes, and I look almost like kind of feral looking. I have a very, it really intensifies my, and that little bit, I mean little, I barely put it on and you can just see it. It's kind of cool actually. 14, squatting like a baseball catcher to stretch out freshly washed jeans. I've done that. A lot. Like a lot. In fact, one time I worked at Giant Eagle, I had my jeans to wear. I am not kidding. I went in one day, I had this black pair of pants on, went in there, and wouldn't you know it, I thought, these are really comfortable. I'm like, wow, like, maybe I lost weight. These are really nice, like, in the seat, in the legs, everything. And then they're like, where I'm going, these feel really good. And I was telling everybody I was working with, I don't know what happened. I must have lost weight. These jeans fit, like, I love them. And I happened to look down, and right here, on this area of it, was a little purple butterfly, and it dawned on me they were my mother's jeans. I was like, seriously? I just didn't tell anybody about it. I just let it go for the night. I went home and I'm like, Mom, by the way, I'm wearing jeans. They were comfortable. She's like, yeah, they've got hip room, Kenneth. I'm like, oh, okay. But she wears my shirts. Like her and my sister both would steal my sweatshirts that I come out of. They would wear them. I walk. I'm like, oh, that's my clothes you're wearing. Apparently they like wearing them. So anyway, moving on. Okay, so 15. Going out on a date. Start getting ready like 2 to 3 hours beforehand just to make sure you're ready on time. And then rush the last 10 minutes before you have to leave when you realize that you only have half of your face on and you're still in a towel. I've only had it happen once, but it wasn't because of my face. In fact, I'm lying. It was. I tell a lie. I wasn't shaved yet. And, in fact, I had a situation with the prom. I was realizing what time it was, and I was like, I don't know what made me think of it, but last second, like, I have to get ready. I went up, threw my clothes on, it dawned on me, I have to shave. I have that white shirt on for my tux, and I got blood on it from cutting myself shaving. So I called my date, and I'm like, we have a problem. She went, what? How did you do that? I'm like, I'll explain later how... Cold water gets it right out. Must do something to the hemoglobin. But anyway, that was that. But yeah, I've had I've never been stuck in a towel. I don't wear a towel around the house. I don't fancy wearing a towel. So, 16. Cup shower water in my boobies, really. Then release the water torrent on my toes. Okay, I'm curious. Only endowed women will be able to pull off such a feat, right? Like, I'm barely an A cup. In fact, I wouldn't wear a bra. If I did wear a bra, they'd be like eye patches. But if you had that much cleavage and you're standing there with the water pouring down upon you, and all of a sudden you just, you and I, whatever. Really? I guess you could do that if there's no law against it, but okay, moving on. So stay up later than planned only because the nail polish you applied 10 minutes ago was still dentable, and you don't want to wake up to dented nail polish ever. I have painted my toenails and my fingernails. I mean, it's been years ago, but I did. But I just I get lightheaded, but they're done. I think they were black fingernails. I think it was for Halloween or something like that. But yeah, I have. Really? You just can't, like, turn on a fan if you do that? Anyway. I'm sorry, Mom. I did it to my nose again. I think I'm a crack at it. You know. I wouldn't know how to even do it. I don't know how I couldn't even manage such a thing. I'd probably, with my post-nasal drip, it would be like wallpaper paste in there. So, alright. Do shower math when you're awake to see, or when you wake up to see how long you have to sleep, and if it's even worth showering, or go back to bed and put your hair in a bun for work. I don't do shower math. I do how long is it going to take me to throw my clothes on, grab one of my muscle milks, grab my keys, and get in the car and go. Because some reason I can drive half awake. Like, drive down the road, I've done that several times. In fact, I probably shouldn't, but little confession there, I do that. I'm not awake. I'm not a morning person. I just did it again. Sorry, Mom. But I keep this thing. Good God. Anyway, I have this thing where I'm not a morning person. I'm quite the bear with a sore ass. In fact, you can ask Matthew, and you can ask Randy, and you can ask Adam, you can ask Louie, you can ask my mother, you can ask my sister. Not that she has a whole lot to say these days. But when I wake up, do not talk to me. Don't look at me. As far as I'm concerned, I am questioning my own gender when I wake up. Just leave me alone. Unless you're on fire. That's my rule. If you're on fire, I will listen to everything you have to say, because that'd be a hell of a sight. But anyway, so, yay. But moving on to other things here. I gotta finish this list. We're 20 minutes. After showering, wear silky or satin PJs. I don't own anything like that. I'm lying. I tell another lie. I have them silk boxers, the blue ones. They have chickens on them, rubber chickens, but I don't wear them because guys like me can't really wear silk boxers because, for those of you that know what this lingo terminology is here going on with my finger, it's constant. I'm constantly, oh God, it's up and down constant, so I can't wear them. 20. That amazing back stomach scratch when you take your bra after a long day. Best feeling ever. That happens to me whenever I am out mowing grass or I'm out all day doing something and I come home and I take my clothes off, I get a shower. I always get an itch down there. And I'm sure it's like having a bra. As you sit there, you scratch and you scratch. In fact, true story, I'm laying in bed with Randy a couple years ago. And he was asleep. Well, I thought he was. And I'm on the right. If you're laying in the bed, he was on the left side. I'm on the right side, and I'm scratching myself. And I drag my nails backwards, down over, my sack. Okay, I'm scratching. I scratch and I scratch and I scratch and I scratch, and it apparently sounded like I was eating cereal in bed because he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, nothing. I didn't think anything of it. I've done this for years. This is something I do. Little quirk of being Kenny. I scratch myself. I'm a guy. I do that. Like women do, apparently, with the same thing with their back and stomach scratch. I'm not doing that. I'm just, it's one motion. It's literally like this. That's all I'm doing. And he's like, "Are you eating?" And I went, "No, I'm not eating." Scratch, scratch, scratch. "Yes, you are." I'm like, "No, I'm not eating anything." I'm like, scratch, 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 just trying to finish up. And he goes, "You're eating cereal." I'm like, "I'm not eating anything." He rolls over, he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm scratching myself." I do that. So, apparently my scratching sounds like I'm crunching granola at 10 o'clock at night in bed when I'm not. So, see, that sounds like I've got, walnuts for testicles. No, they're there. Yeah. So, anyway, I thought, good grief, I'll have to check that out. Anyway, that was that little list. I had to put it up there. I just found it amusing because guys can relate to some of these down there in certain areas. So, I mean, women, I'm sure you get that sweat thing underneath here, I get that. Guys get swamp ass. So, just because we don't have a bra on or we may not have those situations perfectly, worded that way, we have our own issues. Trust me. People are like, "Oh, being a guy is easy." No, it's not. I think each sex has their own pros and cons. So, yay. But anyway, that was that little tidbit, but I thought I'd throw it out there. So you guys be good. Be good. Keep it good. Have fun trying. I'll see you guys later. Be good. Peace be with you. Take it easy. Be good. Be good. Be good. Be good. Toodaloo!